just gonna show you how to create the delta Z table using Excel. I just did some early work, upper bound, lower bound, Z value from normal distribution for upper bound and lower bound values, and then delta Z values. I need to put some numbers here. If you remember, sales response rate was measured 1% as a 1% increase in the customer service level. So I'm gonna put 1% difference between these two numbers. Let's say by 0.85, and then I'm gonna put 0.86. Okay, I can drag these numbers 0.1 and then 0.99. No, 1 is from normal distributions table is infinity, so I'm gonna just put 0.999 for the detail. Okay, now to calculate the Z upper bound or Z lower bound, I need to use an Excel function which is norm S inverse. Okay, and then I will put the probability. Basically what I am saying is 85% of customer will be satisfied, or customer service level is 85%. What is the corresponding Z value? Okay, and similarly I can do this one, and my delta value is basically the difference between these two numbers. Okay, and I can copy this one and create all the table. Okay, so that's how you come up with that table. Right, and then for our example, I think one of them was again 0.62, and the closest number was this one. If you look at this table, it is gonna have a little bit differences between the this one and the one I showed you and the one posted because of the rounding issues. Okay, and that's it. Basically, this way you can create a delta Z table and read whatever the customer service level you need. Okay, sometimes these numbers could be very off. You know, you may not be okay with finding the closest number like 0.33 to 0.13 instead of 0.12 and 0.64 instead of 0.06. So in that case, you may find the actual number actually using Excel again. Okay, so I can exactly or very closely determine what should be the optimal customer service level using Excel. To do that, I need, right, I copied and pasted here. I need to use something called solver. Okay, it is under the data tab, and if you don't have it, you can go to Excel options and add-ins, I'm sorry, and add this solver add-in. Okay, it should be somewhere here, and then when you add it, it is gonna show up in the data menu. Okay, and if you don't have it, you can just ask your IT guy, or it should be installed in your system, but it may not show up. Just you need to go and activate it using add-in tab. Okay, in my system it's already activated, so what I need to do is very simple. I'm gonna set it in a similar way. Basically, I said 0.85, 0.84. This is normal inverse of 0.85, and 0.84, this is the difference. Okay, but what I like to do is I'm gonna find out what is the number for my case. Okay, so I want this delta Z to be equal to 0.12. Okay, that is my Z value when lead time was 1 week. Okay, and I want to have exactly this value, and I'd like to change this one. Okay, and as I said, the numbers needs to be less than 1. Okay, so I'm gonna just put this one. I'll go over one more time. Okay, slow motion, but I need to make another change. Okay, now this is 0.85. By definition, I know that the difference is 1%, so I'm gonna define as a cell relationship. Okay, minus 0.01. Okay. So it is the same way. If this is 0.88, then it's going to be 87%. Basically, I'm just writing the relationship such that I just need to find this number, I just need to find upper bound, lower bound is going to be automatically calculated, and then delta z. Okay. Now let me go back to the solver one more time. So I said my delta z value needs to be equal to this number, and I'd like to change this upper bound number, and I define the relationship between lower bound and upper bound, and my constraint is this upper bound cannot be greater than 1. Okay, it needs to be less than or equal to 1. If I add it and then solve it, oops, it still gets that is one thing with this optimization softwares. Let me change to 91% and see whether we can get the number. Alright, oh man, this is killing me. Excel is good but not perfect. That is the basically outcome of this trial and error. This is called nonlinear optimization. It has a lot of problem, so you may want to change those numbers, initial numbers, or you may just want to write a large enough number but it's not 1. Okay, that's what I did basically. Now I know that I need to put 96.6% customer service level. Okay, and at that time my delta z value is going to be very close to 0.12, okay, compared to 0.13 on the table. Okay, I can change this one to 0.06 and see what happens. Okay, and alright, so I need to go for 91.1% or 91.2% customer service level if I want to achieve the maximum profit, given my lead time was 1 week. Okay, I hope this helps you. Again, if you have any questions, just let me know, and have a good one. Bye bye.